Literally, what the actual shit? Thanks for stopping back in. Got a bracelet, it says Sweden on it, so it had to have been fun, right? Right. Okay, so literally the last like 2.5 to 3 weeks, so like a month pretty much, has just been so bad. Probably one of like my least favorite months in my life. So we're gonna talk about a few things, and wouldn't you guess it, it's about girls again. However, this is no ordinary Swedish girl. She's not Swedish, she's quite very American actually, and she's a mental terrorist. Oh my god, I'm still so like fogged up. Seems like a dream, guys, and I really need someone to just like wake me up. Seriousness, Sweden was pretty cool. We're not going to talk about that because that was back in November, and for whatever reason I'm just terrible at like most things the gist of what life is handing to me. Okay, so this started back during midterms week, so a few weeks ago, and I was just one of those idiots to choose my classes at like the last possible second, so I got stuck with an 8 a.m. No, it was a statistics class, and I'm like pretty good at math, but like, is anyone really good at like anything at 8 a.m.? Just no! Anyway, very awesome professor, but terrible midterm scheduling. So we're closing in on the end of class, it's like 8:59 in the morning, and she warns us, she's like, okay, so we have a midterm next week at 7:15. Do it! No! Why? Just a little information, I have to leave my apartment 40 minutes before my destination time. But just in case, I'm gonna set my alarm to the loudest, most annoying possible sound I have. Time for bed rolls around, and I set my alarm back an hour. Except I changed the tone to my ringtone. 6:15, the time I had it set to, rolls around, and my phone goes off. And all I hear in my half-conscious state is my ringtone. I'm just lying in my bed like, who is calling me right now? I don't even look at my phone, I just shut it off. I send the call to voicemail, or what I thought was a call, and I go back to sleep. Sometime later, I wake up. It's supposed to be there at 7:15. It is 7:12. I get in my car, I'm driving like Mach 115 million. I got like an 80 out of like, you know. Show me the meaning of being lonely. So this happened, you know, about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't think anything was gonna come of it, but apparently I'm just terrible at everything. My dog died. So my sister takes my phone, opens up Snapchat, and she takes a selfie of us and puts it on my story. And she's like, oh my god, you're gonna get so many like jealous girls like sliding into my DMs. Like, I really don't think that's the case, but she insisted, so I went along with it. I should not have gone along with it. Absolutely awful idea. So the first message I get actually is from the Swedish girl. Literally, go away. I leave her on red, you know, the proportional response. And I got a few more messages. Some were from my guy friends asking if that was like, quote, my grill. And then, just when I think the whole commotion is over, around like the 9th message, my phone goes off. And I have this snap text from this girl who I have not talked to in like 3 years. Now, before I go farther into this story, I sort of have to arc into another story. So my sophomore year in high school, I was best friends with this one kid. I'll call him Dan. So Dan and I were best friends for the 2012-13 school year. It was very weird because we thought we were going to be best friends forever, and we might have been. Dan was a pretty cool guy until junior year. Junior year is when he started to get caught up in people who at the time I didn't approve of, but he started doing activities that I necessarily wouldn't have done. And because I chose not to do these activities, he sort of dropped me. And I didn't really come to terms with the situation until a few months later when he started dating one of my other best friends. He thought I was trying to split them up. The girl's mom was actually friends with one of my other friend's mom's roommate, former girlfriend's ex. That person asked me what I thought of this kid. He was really just messing with my head. At the time, I was like, what am like, he's my best friend. What am I supposed to do? Obviously, I oblige by the bro code, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's a good guy. He'll take care of her. I think she might have just read me like a book, because she interpreted that as, okay, so they're never going to see each other. And that's exactly what she did. She basically implemented a travel ban between these two parties. They both didn't believe a word I said, and that was that. Back to the girl. The girl was Dan's sister. Yeah. I found out in the last 2 weeks that she actually had a crush on me for like 2 years. Back in junior year, beginning of senior year, I was still the biggest of bitches. And I really wanted to ask her to prom, but she just, I couldn't. I went over her house because she wanted to hang out. I'm sure there's nothing bad that could come from this. And we talked for a bit, and so I'm actually forced to leave a few hours later by her mom because it was getting late. And I should state, to this day, you know, this was only a few weeks ago, I don't really, like, mess around with girls. I've not been in, like, a really serious relationship. So immediately this girl just finds her place in my head and stays there. Biggest weekend comes and I'm like, hey, do you want to hang out? She leaves me undelivered for like 5 hours and she finally replies, and I'm with my bro SpongeBob. SpongeBob actually notices that my phone is flashing, so I open it up. I have a date. And that leads me to a few days ago. My grandpa dies. So, and it's always good to be funny. It's always good to be funny, guys. But sometimes you just gotta sit down and tell it how it is, because at the end of the day, that's really all you can do. Where does all this lead? Well, clearly that family is just done with me forever. There was one person who came to me after all of this. I don't know what I would do without her. Apologies if this one wasn't as funny. You know, it's really difficult to make things funny about this. For all the guys out there that are scared, and for all the girls out there who think they're never gonna find love, just remember, you probably won't. Well, at the end of the day, what else can we do? You just gotta live our lives. Anyway, I'm Sam, you're you, and I will talk to you about Sweden in the next video. Peace!